Hello, guys. I wanted to hop on here yet again. This time, I have been feeling prompted by the Holy Spirit to talk on, should I say, manifesting symptoms of a person being demonically oppressed as a Christian. Not possessed, because possessed, that could be pretty clear when a person is pretty possessed by a demon, but for Christians who are demonically oppressed by demons, there's a few symptoms that I myself experienced in the past. I received deliverance and I'm free from all that. Looking back, I noticed several things. First of all, I had severe depression. I'm not saying all depression is from a demon, but the one that I had it was demonic. I have severe depression that would always come and go, and throughout my life, it would lead to this clearly demonic oppression of suicidal thoughts and intrusive thoughts, like stuff that was prompting me to kill myself, like thoughts that were prompting me to kill myself. Those were demonic. That was definitely a sign of being demonically oppressed. I would have suicidal thoughts that were always prompted when I would get very lows on depression, triggered by situations or fights or just pretty bad stuff happening in my life. Another sign is, besides depression, suicidal thoughts, sometimes even feeling anxious. I didn't know I was anxious until way later when my sister told me, "You are anxious." It was so normal to me that I didn't know I was being anxious. Even anxiety can be part of it. It just depends on the level of anxiety you get. Just letting you know, when you are demonically oppressed, they usually come in through open doors of sin that you committed in your life or through generational curses. And I know some of this probably from generational curses, some of it is probably from witchcraft that I was involved in, or witchcraft that other people have done on me. Anyways, what's other stuff? I would notice that I would get these episodes that I felt like I was sick. They came randomly. I didn't know what was the cause of it. And it was really the heart palpitations. I didn't even know it was heart palpitations. I just felt like the extreme anxiety and my heart was racing and I thought I was going to pass out. But it would happen so randomly throughout my life that I couldn't even go to the doctor for it because it was just so random. They would just say, well, it's anxiety or it's stress. I noticed that happening at really random times in my life that I felt I was going to pass out. I do know that that was probably a manifestation of demonic oppression. Another one was, I would notice this one. This one was really weird. This one, I remember at work, I would type things, and I know in my mind that I typed the correct thing because I was very focused. I know I was typing I was doing a little bit of data entry work, and I know I was typing the correct thing. But there would be times when they will bring back the paperwork and they would bring it back because they were like confused why it wasn't the correct way that it was typed in. It was, when I looked at it, it was typed like if somebody was just typing all different random texts on it that made no sense. There was no words to it. And I kept thinking to myself, well, I know I was so focused. I know I typed the correct words. Why did it come out this way? I would have situations like that at work. That was very weird. It didn't happen a lot. I think it could have been from that. Now that I think about it, it's probably that. Of course, a major one that I had for many years, besides the depression, the anxiety, and the suicidal thoughts, was sleep paralysis. That came, I believe, in through watching a lot of horror movies because I was obsessed with horror movies as a child. And that came in through that. And I had a lot of episodes of sleep paralysis that were tremendously scary and horrifying. And I was delivered from that. Thank the Lord. I found the way out, and it was through prayer, consistent prayer, and it's gone. Demonically oppressed for many years with sleep paralysis. Thank God I was delivered. Another one was, I would say, if you have a tendency of addiction or a sinful thing that you're doing consistently and you're really trying to stop and you can't, that could be a high sign that you are demonically oppressed. If you can't stop, then you tried everything, you put the boundaries, you have the accountability, you you prayed, like you've tried everything and it's not working, that's definitely a sign of demonic oppression. It could like for example, like addiction to smoking weed or drugs or sexual sin like masturbation or sleeping around, stuff like that. Pornography addiction, so all those, any type of addiction really. And what else? Definitely a sign of demonic oppression, addictions. I think those were the major ones that I noticed looking back now that were major signs of demonic oppression for me. Oh, mental torment. That was a big one for me. It was connected with depression, but there was different levels of strongholds and wounds in my heart that caused these deep levels of mental torment for me that came into trauma. I had a lot of trauma in my life through losing loved ones, through seeing things I shouldn't have seen as a child in a very horrific state, almost dying. Just extreme trauma. A lot of demons came in that way, but through strongholds. Strongholds are mental thoughts that you keep thinking over and over that are not of God, obviously. I had to dismantle a lot of that. God helped me through that process and led me through all that. But see if I think of any others, but those are the major ones that I noticed that I had when I was demonically oppressed. And I thank the Lord that I am delivered and set free, that He has set me free through deliverance. And deliverance is very much real. I very much thought it was fake also. But not until you experience it yourself will you actually understand and know. Anyways, that's all I wanted to speak on that. Let me go bring my dog back in. Anyways, God bless you all. Bye.